right, what's up, guys? This is Will Schusterick. I'm with Idris Garcia. We're on the back nine feature card. We are at the Frostbite Open in Opelika, Alabama. We'd like to thank a couple of the sponsors: Auburn, Opelika Tourism, Opelika Parks and Rec, Hat Tip, Disc Golf, FlighTowel, and Prodigy Disc. We have myself, Alec Falzone, Colin Forehand, and Neal.
Tight race at the top so far. You and Alex tied at 4 down.
Yep, we're on the hole 12. This is the shortest hole on the course, which is a fairly easy putter shot, as you can see, downhill 159 feet. There is a little bit of trouble, as you can see. It's really tight off the tee. You kind of just want a little bit of a touch anhyzer. Just let the disc do the work and float down the hill.
Yeah, definitely easy distance, but not an easy gap to hit. It looks like you guys are making it work. Alec with the tomahawk, and then you and Colin with really nice backhand drives.
Yeah, Colin and I both threw the Glow 400 PA3 on that shot. You can see Jared right there going with a putter as well.
It was funny.
Look at nice catch camera action, catching the guy with the catch cam. Is that how it goes?
I dig it.
Jared with a nice putt there. This is definitely the hole that you want to make sure you take advantage of, even though it's 150 feet in a really tight gap. These really add up towards the end of the round.
Yeah, really confident drives from all you guys. You guys are halfway through the round. Everybody's under par. So by this point, you guys are dialed in and a little bit warmed up.
Yeah, and that's one of the things, as we mentioned during the front nine, it was a little bit cold throughout the round, cold and dry. Didn't really make for ideal conditions in terms of grip. But overall, this Opelika course is really fun to play, a great place to play a tournament.
You pulled that one just a tad.
Yeah, a little bit of a turnover. The basket you can't really see from this camera view, but it's all the way up the tree line on the right-hand side, so as you can see, Alec, it's really easy to go early right. He got an initial great kick, but not a very great second kick.
Yeah, all these holes look pretty tight on the right and left. It's definitely a hit your gap style of course.
Colin is going with a 400 F3 on this shot. As you can see, he's kind of sliding up to the basket. He still has a little bit of a longer putt. I think he's looking at about 28, 30 foot putt right there. Jared is trying to rip on a mid-range, and as you can see, he has some crazy arm speed.
Come on. It almost made it back up.
But you can really get stuck in some bad spots over there. But hopefully, I think Jared and myself are kind of stuck on the side. I'm going with a 300 PA4 for the sub shot.
A little patent pending. I think the patent on that one's been pending for a while.
Yeah, and I kind of a little bit outside on that, still looking to save par. Jared with almost
a good angle.
Yeah, same look. So you can see Alec right there. He has borderline no shot, but trying to do some fancy forehand roller. And when you get stuck in the trees like that, it's really hard.
Oh, that's tough.
It's really hard to get to the basket when there's only 4 feet between the trees right there.
Oh.
And bouncer off the rim. That's a heartbreaker right there.
Yeah, especially after that jump putt that hit the trees. I mean, it's time just to kind of slow down a little bit and focus on the next hole.
Colin with a great birdie, as we just watch right there. I'm looking to save par on this putt.
No.
And I did not save par on that putt. Not very close.
Not very close.
No.
Jared did save his par.
I would like to say that I saved my bogey on this, but
You didn't do that either.
I didn't say bogey on that one.
Well,
I'll go ahead.
happens,
I'll take the 5 on that one.
yeah, you and Alec are just excited to move on to hole 14.
I can't wait for hole 14 at this point.
It's going to be exciting.
And
with that, Colin takes the lead out of nowhere.
that is a great
deuce.
birdie to get with 360 feet tunnel on the right-hand side. This is one of the changes from the previous year on the Frostbite course. 369 feet. You want to get past that very bright cedar tree and then go almost 90 degrees to the right. Really, forehand is going to be one of the few ways to get to the basket on this hole.
It's a little wide from Jared, but he'll be out on the edge.
I am ready to get over that previous shot. Looking to throw a 400G M4 on this drive. And that is danger right there. That is the danger zone.
It doesn't look fun over there.
Alec as well. We had a previous bad hole, just looking to get a nice tee shot off. And this one is looking spicy. As you can see, goes all the way through the trees right there, and he gives himself a really good look at birdie. I don't know where I am. I might not be on the disc golf course right now.
I think you're in jail.
This is the definition of jail. Someone tell me how this happened.
I heard a couple. Wow.
How does that happen? Never in my right mind would I have thought that would happen.
Long is not where I would have thought you would go.
It's some of those times when you just grab your thinnest driver and you just go for the tomahawk. Whatever it is, if I'm throwing a tomahawk, we're not in a good position.
Colin had to pitch out, and he's going to lay up for his 4.
I'll say the same thing. If you go double jump putt, it's probably not the greatest spot. But where Colin was, 4 is really the only type of score you can get from there.
Yeah, I think both of you guys, it's kind of one of those situations where 4 is best case scenario.
Yeah, it's just, once your tee shot gets into a really tough spot, you just kind of got to take your medicine and lay up twice, in a sense. As we see Alec take full advantage of his nice forehand drive off the tee.
Good bounce back for him there.
Yeah, that's a great birdie to pick up.
There you go. Picking up the 4 this time.
Yep, and I'm more than okay taking a 4. Just a really bad drive. Colin with a fairly easy 3. Jared making sure to hold up the stool. It's very impressive balance right there.
Gotta make sure you're level. Everyone take notes.
Yeah, you gotta feel balanced.
Yeah.
Sometimes you need a stool. Alec going for the forehand route on this. This is a pretty common play. A lot of people like the forehand route. I think it's a bigger gap to hit.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the safer play.
So you can see Jared.
That was not safe.
This is not a safe place to be. As you can see, it's really easy to get in jail on these holes. Not a bad kick, though. Even though that wasn't a great drive from Colin, the kick was good just to be kind of in the center on the right-hand side there.
Yeah, these trees on the course are so closely grouped together, and there's so many of them. If you end up in the rough, you're just hoping that you can get out.
I got a little bit lucky on that. I was trying to go on the inside of the gap right there, but so you can see Jared just taking his medicine. There's just really no way to get to the basket from his tee shot. And this is an amazing shot. Just a slight Anheuser release fading out towards the basket, and it sits on top of the crest right there.
Just great touch.
Yeah. Slow it down. That's really the standard upshot play when you're trying to just not attack the basket fully and just to give yourself a 15-footer at the bottom of the hill. And I'm looking to just...
Tough look there, but you kept it up top.
Yeah. I was lucky to be able to look across the... What would you call that right there? The berm? It's not a bad miss, though, from Alec.
I would call it a mound, but I guess it looks longer than a mound. I don't know what...
The long mound.
The definition of a berm.
That was a great putt there by Colin.
Yes, good 3 save for sure.
I'll have to define berm for you later.
Yeah, please.
It's a good putt by Jared, too, as well. This is one of the longest holes out here, 500 feet. You just played several really tight wooded shots, and you're just looking to unleash on this hole as much as you can. I know that's what I'm looking to do. See, Colin is going with the D1 Max. New disc released by Prodigy right there, and he got a really long drive out of that.
Good shot from Colin. Looks like the wind is fairly calm.
Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, we did have a little bit of a headwind.
Really?
Not a lot, but Had a really nice roll on that, looking
Nice
downhill.
drive for you, for sure. That was hung up in the air forever. Got good height on it.
You can see why Jared is known to throw far. So you can see the camera is trying to catch up with the disc. And
Wow.
throws it a little bit long and to the right. So he'll have, on this 500-foot hole, he'll have a comebacker just outside the circle. Alec looking like he's going with some type of overstable putter or mid-range.
A little long there.
A little long. It is a little easy to misjudge the upshot going downhill right there, as you can see. I think Colin did the same thing. He ended up in that longer grass. I'm more than happy with this drive, just giving myself a look 500 feet away.
Oh!
And I just needed 2 or 3 more inches. And I'd been looking at a birdie on that one.
Yeah, I can't imagine too many people are looking at 2 on this one, so just having a look and being able to take an easy 3 is a bonus.
See Colin here, you did have a little bit of a long look on his jump putt, and it just kind of went a little bit farther away, but Colin with that nice spin putt.
Great comebacker.
It's a great comeback, 25-footer.
Alec with a pretty similar look. I don't know if that pole there was in play for either one of them. Alec, not quite the result.
Yeah, and once again, you know, when you go long on those comebackers, and it's pretty cold and dry and windy at the same time out here, so it's easy to let a couple of them get away that you usually consistently hit. Jared with the balancing stool on one side.
Yeah, didn't need to hold it up this time. I don't know if that had anything to do with the downhill.
All right, that's usually pretty standard for that hole. And here we're gonna go to a disc golf towel like no other.
Yeah, thanks to FlighTowel for the sponsorship of the video. Really appreciate it.
All right, hole 17, 400-foot par 3. One of the tougher par 3s across this course, just because of the out of bounds that you have on the left. And then the fairway slopes from right to left. As we can see, Colin went with that D1 max. I'm going with an X2. It's a little bit of a headwind here. No matter what, you want to make sure that you land on that kind of higher right-hand side, and then try to get the disc to skip down.
It's a really nice filter down.
Still got a longer look at birdie, but you know, you just don't want to stay out of bounds the whole time with your shot on this, because it's easy to take a high number on this hole. As you can see, Jared is a little
high.
A little high on that one. I think he ended up in the bottom of that tree. I think that saved him from going long out of bounds.
Ooh, looked like Alec almost hit the sign.
I think he did on that one, although the low shot's not a bad play because it's not really going to stay too high and fade out. He's looking for that just short, overstable putter, upshot, and
there we go.
Perfect shot right there by Alec. Jared with the laying down upshot.
Just taking a little sit.
Sometimes you got to lay down and throw a shot. That's how it goes. Colin's looking to, he's looking to maybe make a little run at this one. He's about 60 or 70 feet. His body was telling him, yeah, but his mind was saying, just toss it by the pole.
Yeah, and he left it on the good side of that, staying on the right side, not really bringing the OB into play, which would have been pretty easy to do, looking downhill at it.
Jared with the stool in his hand, classic.
Oh.
Alec again, having a little bit of trouble with those comeback putts. He just needs a little bit of a confidence boost.
Going into the last hole, looks like Colin is up 1 over you and Alec.
We actually have a couple extra holes on this.
Oh, baby.
I think there's 22 holes on this course.
I like it. Bonus coverage.
That's right. Colin with a great mid-range shot right there as we're on hole 18 of the original course. Colin goes 400 M4 right up the middle of the gap. I'm going 400 M3. I'm looking for a little bit of a straight skip.
And you got it.
And I got it. How about that?
Not too much trouble with that putt, I hope.
Back on the birdie train.
Oh.
Jared hits the
Whoa,
laying down stop.
baby.
Oh, man.
Late kick, a lot of action.
Sometimes you need some tree love. Looks like Alec is going with the forehand. He just needs a little bit more height. That was a very good line. Just a slow fade from right to left. He just wants to toss this one up by the basket and just take his easy par. It's Colin with a great drive to start the bunch. Ends up being the third farthest away from the basket.
Alec will clean up this par. So you and Jared will take the tap-in birdies.
I needed that one. I think we all need a couple tap-in birdies coming up. Jared with the stool, classic.
So 3 birdies out of the 4 of you guys. Good hole there.
So we're headed to the first temporary hole, hole 19, 330 feet. Downhill, plays a little bit longer than it looks. It looks like he landed a little bit short, but he's actually still outside the circle. I am going with a H1 V2. Even though it is 330, there's a pretty strong left to right wind.
I was going to say this one, I'm definitely hearing the wind pick up here on the video.
Yeah, you can see my disc just dies right there. Has no amount of carry to the left.
It looks like you got about pin high.
Jared's going with a really overstable disc. As you can see, the wind just slammed that thing down. We're trying to play it into that left to right hill, but you don't want to get too confident with the shot just because of the upside of the hill where it can skip, as Alec gets a fantastic roll, and that is going to put Alec back on track.
Right into the concrete, got the stop, really nice.
It's a great run by Jared, being 60 feet out or so.
Yeah, good sit on the other side of that hill too.
This putt right here was a little bit daunting as you're going uphill with the left to right. It's really windy. Colin just nails it in the dead center.
Nice.
It's a great putt right there by Colin. Same thing with this. You're looking straight up at the basket. There's no flags on the basket or anything, so it's kind of hard to tell the wind.
Got it.
I was pretty happy about making that one.
Yeah, that's a pretty steep incline.
Good comebacker from Jared. He doesn't have the stool, though. I wonder why. We'll have to ask him later.
He's a little further out, you know?
Doesn't need as much balance.
Yeah.
Great drive there by Alec. Got the nice friendly roll. Gave him the nice tap-in birdie.
Killing it.
So we're headed on to hole number 20. 320 feet. Kind of the opposite of the previous hole in the sense of that you're going uphill almost the same distance.
Stuck it.
Colin sticks that one right into the hill. I think I'm going with the same disc here, H1 V2. Just hyzer the whole time and play a little skip up there towards the basket.
Slid up the hill.
Alec looks like he's crushing some type of fairway driver, and you can see right there, if you don't keep the disc down and it hits the top of that plateau, it just skips right off. I think we're all pretty close to throwing the same disc from the previous hole. I think Jared might have thrown some type of mid-range. As you can see, his disc kind of died a little bit quicker than the rest of ours. Alec with this comebacker uphill. There is a drop-off behind the basket, so once again, these putts are a little bit daunting to just run all out at. And that's a common play. It's definitely the smart play with the wind.
Result. Yeah.
Not a bad result. You just have a nice tap-in birdie as Jared taps in his. And you can't really see it, but from behind the camera, the wind is swirling. It's a wide open field, so you get a lot of these different gusts. As you can see, Colin right there kind of lets that one go a little bit too low.
Yeah, I don't know if he was expecting it to lift a little bit or if it was just kind of a misfire.
Yeah, I just want to
spun yours in there.
just stay in the basket. So Jared and I pick up the birdies as we're headed on to hole number 21.
So apparently this giant facility you guys are playing around is one of the premier pickleball facilities in the country?
That's what I'm hearing. And that pickleball court is incredible. That thing is massive. It's going to be a big place to play some pickleball, I guess.
12 courts, I believe.
I'm going to have to look into that.
I have never had the pleasure of playing, but I have heard it is a blast.
Speaking of a blast, look at the pollen that just came off of the tree from Jared's disc. As you can see, Jared and I hit that tree on the right-hand side. It was a pretty common play. We're looking at a right to left on the wind. Colin definitely fortunate with that non-skip up towards the basket. You really want to keep it outside of that short tree right there. Trying to stay away from the outer bounds. As you can see, Alec gets fortunate. About one spin from being out of bounds, but he's safe on that. I'm just going for the old jump putt layup. You kind of get a better look at the wide openness that we're dealing with throughout the whole temporary holes here as the wind picks up going into the back nine, or the back four holes actually.
Good up from Alec there too.
Colin is looking outside the circle. I think he's about 35, 40 feet, slightly uphill. As I mentioned, swirly wind. Colin does have that slight anhyzer or slight flat putt. It works really well in the wind, but on certain occasions, of course, if it drops, you know, it's kind of hard to read the wind a lot of the times.
We'll clean up his par though, as you and Colin remain in the lead at 5 down, and Alec and Jared are just 2 back.
We're headed on to hole 22, 270 feet, very tight shot. And it's even tighter whenever the wind is swirling. I think it's going right to left at this point. That's a pretty common tree to hit right there. I mean, it's just really tough. The basket is dead straight off the tee. You just want a nice low tee shot, slow hyzer flip. So we're going to see Jared almost does that, and he actually kicks out of bounds.
That is rough. You got kicked into the middle. He got kicked in the middle of the road. I mean, it's just...
Yeah.
No, Colin.
I mean, you're just looking
really
for the
kick
disc.
anywhere.
You want it to turn, but you can't have it turn too much. It's just that slight anhyzer release, good amount of spin, and just kind of let the wind hold it. It's a very touchy shot.
Looks good. Yeah.
And now, like the tree whisperer gets through all of those little pine trees that we saw for a few holes straight. Just a little sidearm putter approach shot. 300 PA3 is what I'm tossing up there.
Yep, that's going to just sit down right there. Nice easy putt. Uh-oh.
Looks like Colin might have turned it over a little bit too much, but I think he's still looking.
Yeah, he said it was really good, but I think he was being sarcastic.
That was actually a very touchy shot right there by Jared. Just a nice skip shot around the corner. Alec looking at the downhill, maybe slightly outside the circle. Wanted it to drop just a little bit, but hits the top. Great catch. Yeah, nice catch right there from Colin to save that par. I'm sure he would have been bummed out by going for a jump putt, layup, and then taking a bogey, but that was a great par save. Jared with the stool, classic.
Backpack on. wind is ripping.
Yeah, the wind is coming in really strong for these last couple holes. Not a bad 3. That's one of those holes. It is great to get a birdie. It's only 270 feet, but there is a lot of a lot of danger. Can't really talk. It's got me all choked up thinking about the hole.
Danger.
I am ripping on a 400 A3, and I just touched the bottom of the tree right there, and it just didn't give me any skip. I think Colin is going with a 400 H1 V2. And the wind is ripping from left to right. It is just shoving the disc down. Or as you can see right here, as Alec goes forehand, the wind just gets right underneath it, lifts it a little bit too high.
And those trees are playing a great role of guardian. I mean, they are not letting anything through there right now.
Looks like Jared is going with a fairly overstable mid-range, and again, he gets the wrong kick that he asked for.
Good height on it. Just a little left.
Here's Colin, a little bit outside the circle. He does have that nice spin putt. Works well from distance. Looking into that massive pickleball court.
Oh.
Just a little bit more spinach, and he would have had that. Spinach or spinach?
Yeah, spinach. Popeye makes Popeye stronger, which I guess.
Yeah, that would work.
Spinach would lead to more spinach.
Looking about 35 feet. Super windy on the last hole. That one didn't count.
Just never quite hyzered back.
Yeah, it didn't really go in the basket. Good comebacker by Jared. We're all just tapping in for our pars. And that is
Our frame there.
hole 23. That is the finale of round 1, Frostbite Open 2019. We got Roger Reyes coming from St. Louis with a 9 under, Dylan Brazel 6 under, and myself and Colin Forehand tied at 5 under, headed into the second round. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, thanks to Prodigy Disc, thanks to FlighTowel, thanks to Hat Tip Disc Golf, Opelika Parks and Rec, Auburn Opelika Tourism. And remember that massive pickleball court. Go look at that thing. That thing is crazy. Thanks, Idris.
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see ya in the next round.
See you next round.